Hi, Happy New Year, and welcome to 15 Minutes of Consulting Best Practices. I'm David A. Fields, and I'm joined by my colleague, Mahlouli Dubey. Happy Monday, Mahlouli.
Happy Monday, David. It's good to see you. Happy New Year.
And to you, in case folks are wondering about the background, which is not normal, it's because I'm on the road this week. And good morning, Happy New Year to John and to Michael and to Dan. Excellent. For those of you who are new, format here is straightforward. You ask us questions about anything having to do with consulting and building a consulting practice, and we answer them. That's it. It's not terribly complicated, but type your questions in the chat and let us know you're here for our first Monday in 2026. I'm sure some questions have come up as you've been on vacation and we've been on vacation. Brad, you've got a good question there, so we'll jump in on that. But I do also know there was at least one question submitted by email. So, Jaron, if you could share that question, Mahlouli, you can read it, and I'll see if I can answer it.
Yep, sure thing. So we have a question here from, I believe it is Tom, and he's asking, here's his question, David. I've recently moved as a solo consultant, and with internet being a sea of noise, and these days, especially in the tech sector, how do I start speaking to the right people? My network where I'm moving to is tiny. The pool is so vast, but everyone has an urgent need.
Yeah, not everyone. Yeah, not everyone has an urgent need.
Not everyone has an urgent need. Sorry.
Got it. All right. All right, Tom, and I think you're here. So I have some questions back, perhaps for you. So you're moving, which is already can be unsettling. I guess my first question is are you trying to build a local practice? You mentioned being in the tech space, but most tech isn't local. Most consulting isn't local. I mean, I'm down here in Florida for a couple of weeks, and then I'll be heading back up to Connecticut, and that doesn't affect the business at all. So I guess my first question is, are you building a local business, which is fine. And if you've done that, or if you're doing that, that's great. We've worked with some boutique firms that have created local businesses very successfully. It's not easy, but of course, building a network isn't easy no matter what. Locally, it takes outreach. As with anything else, there are some actual advantages in local, because if you're truly local, you can become involved in your community. You can become involved with groups where business leaders are congregating, or perhaps even create a group of your prospects. There's a firm we work with in Europe that has done that extremely successfully. So yeah, I guess I have that question about a local. And you mentioned there's a vast pool of prospects. They don't all have an urgent need. Yeah, that's kind of the case for every firm. Common wisdom is only 3% of the prospect pool is looking for help at any given time. I mean, that's kind of what you see out there. Our benchmarks, Mahlouli, let me know if I'm off here, but I think our benchmarks line up pretty well with that common wisdom. You know, some maybe 3, 4, 5%. So you have to be in a lot of conversations. I mean, you need visibility approaches that enable you to have a lot of conversations. You're talking to one new prospect every single day in your local market. I think you'll find your pipeline should be in good shape. That's my initial response. Mahlouli, anything to add? Anything I missed?
Everything you said is absolutely right. I believe, Tom, you also shared with us a little bit about how when you are, it's really tech sector focused, and that's the part that's really got me going. Like, if it's tech sector and you're going local, I think, David, you said this already. What are the drivers really behind that? Are we really needing to just interact with local people or not? But yes, there are firms that are local first, where client interaction, being able to see the client face to face, is highly valued. We've seen that before. But yes, we just need to clarify those, and then we can give you a better answer. Yeah.
Yeah, and as it looked like Tom has given us some clarification. You're moving to DC. it's easier getting traction via in-person interactions. It can be. There's no doubt that in-person is the strongest way to create some connection and bond. However, it has massive disadvantages also, mainly that it's extremely expensive in terms of time. Whereas a conversation like this, where we could see each other, I can't see you, but if you're able to be in a conversation on Zoom or Teams or pick your platform, that you can have with anyone, anywhere. You can create a pretty good connection. Not as strong as in person, but your reach is so much wider, and the cost of creating a meeting is so much lower that we tend to advise that versus really stressing one-on-one in person. So that's some thoughts there. Let us know if that helps, Tom, or if not. Ask a follow-up question, or if any of the rest of you think that was a dumb question or a dumb answer, then tell us. All right. Makhlouli, Brad asked a question, and since I answered the first one, whatever this is that Brad wrote, you get to answer.
All right.
Hi, Brad. Happy New Year. Let's see. Let's take an example where a consultant has been subcontracted by a large consulting firm to lead a pay-for-performance engagement after they completed a diagnostic. After a few weeks, it becomes clear that the initial targets are unrealistic due to a significant decline in addressable spend. The inability to meet the targets gets flagged several times, yet leadership does not respond and continues to insist on unrealistic targets. How would you proceed? Brad, are you being paid on a pay-for-performance basis? You agreed to that? And it was performance, not your performance, but the client's end results? If so, you went into a contract that we would not advise. But so clarify that. And while you're doing that, Makhlouli, what do you think? What are your reactions?
Well, my very first reaction to all of this is that there's something that was missed in our context discussion, right? As we're starting to find the context discussion and being able to highlight what exactly the measures or the KPIs of success are in delivering the project and what the risks on delivering the project are, that is the area where we should be able to align with leadership on what's possible given the scope. So it sounds to me, just from a basic read without the clarification, and I'm sure that it's going to be coming in shortly, there's something that we missed here in terms of defining the KPIs and the risks for the project. And that's really where we should focus our time and aligning with leadership. What do you think, David?
Yeah, well, Brad, you said the firm, the prime in this case, agreed to work on performance, but you did not. So is your concern, but you'll still get paid, right? So now, or are you asking, did this prime do things wrong? Yeah. As a consulting firm or as a consultant, when you are working with some skin in the game, success fees based contract, those ideally are based on your success, not the ultimate success, if that ultimate success includes a lot of factors that you can't control. For instance, it looks like in this case, the market disappeared. Well, the market disappeared, that's not on you as a consultant. So if you're gonna, we would generally recommend not taking on that risk. Rather, take on risk related to what you can control. That's my initial response. Brad, let me know if that answers the question, though. Let us know that, or whether we're not getting to the heart of your question. Let's see, what other questions have come up? And hi, Patrick, and hi, Shankar. Excellent. And someone said LinkedIn user, good one, but we can't see who you are. So I don't know what that is. Let us know what other questions you have. Again, Brad, let us know whether we answered your question. Jaron, do we have others from that were submitted? Let's see. Frank asked, most of my work comes from LinkedIn and Upwork connections. Okay. Lately, prospects have been sending overly draconian NDA and IP agreements before an initial conversation. No, that's not good. The agreements require me to assign rights to my IP and to all my tools. And I, of course, am unwilling to do that, but this is everywhere. How do you address this situation? Well, Makhlouli, what do you think?
Well, my initial thought is that we need to stay right side up here. Typically, what we see is that when firms or prospects send NDAs, most of them are boilerplate. However, there are some that are intentionally set up that way. In the cases of the ones that are boilerplate, you can ask for revisions that will allow you not to give up your IP or your tools, because that's foundationally what makes your consulting firm your consulting firm. On the second part of it, where they're intentionally put in there those draconian, those draconian line items or bylaws or whatever of the contract, what's going on there is we need to inquire, stay right side up and inquire from your prospects exactly what it is that they're trying to protect against or ensure that they get. And typically, if you're able to ask those questions and move around and navigate that whole conversation, you can cater to their needs without necessarily having to sign a draconian agreement. What we see with most, solo consulting firms or boutique consulting firms as well, is that people are not willing to ask those questions. There's a lot of excitement around, hey, I just want a project and I feel like I'm at the mercy of the prospect. Stay right side up. Just ask the question, and most of the times, you can really get to know what's driving some of these clauses in the contract. What do you think, David?
Yeah, you gave a much better answer than I would have. So what you said, I don't tend to react terribly well to these kinds of things where they want to they ask for your IP, because that's insane. As you said, Makhlouli, the IP is your consulting firm. And you're absolutely right. You gave the right answer, which is to not have the emotional response, but instead keep it about the client and understand what's driving that request. I think you said it might be boilerplate, so it might be stuff they just throw in there to see if anybody's
whatever sticks.
Willing to put that in. So I agree. I think that's a good response. It's better than I would have said. Brad, you said it's more about trying to avoid an unprofitable project. Your pay was set on a day rate, so we need to help you not do day rates. There's a whole bunch in here about contracting, which is less than ideal. You should have your prime reach out to us. We'll tell them how to do better contracts to begin with their client and with you. They're probably, John is saying there might be some politics in play and someone's committed to making it happen. Could be. It's a poorly constructed contract between the prime consulting firm and the client.
Right.
So that's what's going on. Rachel, I'm curious if this is a way to identify if your work is founded in AI or if you are able to provide unique value that is able to be validated. Are you talking, Rachel? Are you talking about the NDA provisions? I'm not 100% clear on that, but let us know. Frank, yeah, you bet. Happy to do that. Rachel, let us know, because I'm curious about your question also. And just like that, somehow we have eaten 15 minutes of time. So thank you for joining us. But before you go, two things. To make sure your 2026 is as good as it could possibly be, do that by joining us every Monday. So put the link, Jaren, over there, I think. Put that link in your calendar every Monday, and you'll instantly have a great new habit in place, right? And New Year's is all about new habits, so do that. And let's do another habit. If you don't receive the notice each Wednesday morning for my latest article, go there. Thank you, Jaren. And subscribe using that link. Let's see. Relative to the NDA provisions, I think you might be right, Rachel. And there was a comment saying that you've always been able to beat those demands anyway. Perfect. So good responses. Thank you for being here with Makhlouli and with me. Remember, the consulting's about them. It's about these prospects. As Mahuli said, stay right side up. Give your clients value, give them kindness, and we will see you right back here next Monday. Take care, everybody.
Take care.